Hey guys, Matt, Legacy 4x4. Here's the start to another video. I don't know what video it's gonna be a start to, but here's the start to another video. We are working on my new favorite, the 88 Sammy. As you can see, I picked up some RZR seats for it that are gonna go in there. I picked RZR seats just because they're super small compared to like full-size PRPs. So I went ahead and repainted the Sammy as well with some good old Massey Ferguson tractor paint, which I always like because it comes out nice and thick and shiny. So A+ for tractor paint, and then the cage I obviously painted copper instead of gold because I think it matches better. I digress. This video we're going to talk about either mounting the seats or stretching the front axle and linking it. So maybe both, we'll see. Also, I have the rear cinched down right now just because I'm messing with the front axle, so I want the rear cinched so the shocks don't push it. In any case, it is 4-linked in the rear. I had a whole video on that 4-link setup and it got deleted. This has 2-inch tube on the bottom, like 1.5 on the top, so it's a pretty big difference. And yep, axle got trussed, you know, just a basic 4-link. And then the skid plate is where the lower links mount to. I think that's a pretty clever design. So in any case, rear is 4-linked. I'll probably do a walk around video or something on that. But back to the real scheduled programming. I'm gonna decide if I wanna do seats first or the front axle first. So. Okay, so let's talk these RZR seat brackets. So these are basically like, you know, 110-degree brackets that just screw in with 4 screws. You can see the nutserts right there on the seat, for example. So my plan to mount these is to use the seats that are already fully screwed together, so as in the tops and the bottoms are all in one piece. Come over to the Samurai and mark where those bottom nutserts are, and then throw the bolts in from underneath. All right, so that was easier than I expected to mount. That hole's a little elongated, but it'll hold. I could just put a bigger washer there. I probably will do that. Anyways, that was easier than I thought to mount. So everything is mounted in place. Seats are in place, and that was nice and quick. And since that was entirely too easy for a single video, we're gonna go ahead and keep the seats in place and start stretching out the front, which is gonna involve taking the leaf springs off, taking the shocks off, cutting the front tube work to right about here for now, so we can make some guesses on how we're gonna do the rest of it, as well as cutting the frame right here as well. So yeah, let's get started doing that. Should be fun. Okay, so just to end this video, I'm gonna go ahead and free this winch from this welded up booger welded contraption of a front frame mount. And I'm gonna debate whether leaving the front radiator there or doing a rear XJ radiator. Obviously the XJ radiator will have bigger cooling capacity and obviously flow a little better. But the stock water pump's gonna have to push water all the way back there. Yeah, I don't know the best thing I wanna do for radiator, so I'm gonna sit here and stare at it for a little bit longer. And once I figure it out, I will probably just post in the next video. We're either gonna keep that radiator and do some tube work around the front, or we're gonna chop the frame about 8 inches back and free up this radiator and then do a rear mounted radiator right behind your headrest. So nice and safe. So I'm undecided. We'll figure it out when we get there. All right, we've got some parts delivery and we're a mess. Obviously it's a mess in here because it rained and everything's wet and I spilled a bunch of coolant. So in any case, we're gonna keep the front radiator. That's what I'm gonna do. I bought a nice little red hose kit for it, so all these hoses are gonna be replaced with like high temp silicone red. It should look pretty with the red and copper. So we're gonna keep the front radiator. There's a myriad of other reasons, like keeping the stock flowing dynamics, and it's simpler this way, and it's more effort to put one right behind the back of the headrest. So keeping the front radiator. Don't think we need to go rear radiator on this rig, so front radiator it is. And we're gonna go ahead and build a cross member for it. So I did lop off the whole front of this frame. So I wanna build a nice cross member that kind of cradles the radiator as well as stiffens the front of that frame. The radiator is bolted into the frame already on the OEM mounts. So it's in place enough where I don't need to make a cross member that mounts the radiator. I just need to have a cross member that protects the radiator. And so my thoughts to do that are to use some of my 1x1 steel, because I have like an infinite amount of 1x1 steel right now. So I'm gonna stack some 1x1 steel, kind of make a trapezoidal shape, a negative trapezoidal shape, and weld that together and then stick it to the frame. So let me show you what I got. So here's my trapezoid, bunch of 1x1 steel cut and sectioned out. So I'll probably just fully weld the top piece, do some alternating welds, kind of make it look like a zigzag or something. We'll see what the design ends up being. But yeah, gonna weld this together on the table, bring it back over to the rig, and then weld it on the rig. Should be fun. Let's get to welding. Just did some quick math to stagger where I'm gonna put the weld bead, since I'm not gonna weld this fully because there's no need. So I'm just debating whether I'm gonna do it flush or I'm gonna alternate, maybe do like a stepping pattern. But I'm gonna sit here and figure it out. All right, so we have the cross member in place. I did have to hit it with the hammer a few times to knock a few swings into it to get it into submission, if you will. That's how it looks underneath the radiator. Like I said, it kind of cradles it a little bit. Super easy to do since it's just 1-inch square tubing. You don't have to do any crazy tube work or anything, so I'm happy with that. That'll look nice and pretty once it's painted. Last thing for this cross member is we're gonna fish plate it. And by fish plate, I'm gonna make a little triangle or some kind of shape that comes up here, covers these end caps that are all beat to shit with the hammer, and also fish plates it down to the frame, right where the VIN number is actually, which is kind of funny. So that's gonna get covered up. In any case, I wanna build those fish plates now, get that nice and smooth, do the same thing on the other side, and the cross member will be done. Tube work should be fun, and then the axle should be fun. Those are two really fun videos that should occur. Also in the background, you can see my MSD box. That's an MSD 6AL box. I had that on a 22R powered Toyota pickup truck back in my early days of the Army. That didn't last very long. So that's the last reminder of that pickup truck, which is funny because it's gonna work perfect for my 1.3 Suzuki. So I'm stoked. I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out and show you guys the finished product. All right, so it is painted. I also did a quick little splash coat on the front of the radiator. Don't mind me, that's black now. In either case, this is how the fish plates turned out with a little bit of tractor paint on it. I'm addicted to tractor paint. I use it for everything. Nice and thick. This is how the front cradle turned out. I really dig it. Looks the same on both sides, so that's the way it's gonna look. That's the front cross member, that's the front end. So next time we work on this, we're gonna either do the front tube work or we're gonna link the axle and do the steering in the axle plus everything else in the axle. It should be pretty fun. When I say everything else in the axle, I mean the 4 links, the air shocks, and then the winch is gonna be unsprung weight on the axle as well. So it should all turn out pretty cool. It's been a long couple days for me. These projects get out of hand real quick. So I'm gonna go drink a beer and relax for a little bit. I will see you guys next week.